Hey everybody, welcome to Bitcoin and Altcoin Trading Talk, episode 35. I'm your humble host, William Kale from Coinigy.com, and along with me we have Alex Sterk from Block Talk, and the infamous CR Investor on Twitter, drumroll, the Rational Investor from therationalinvestor.co. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. Hi, Will. Hi,
Hey,
all.
Oh,
fantastic.
We're all baseball hatting it tonight.
oh yeah, rocking the baseball hat. Okay, and I had an echo because I always have a bad habit of messing something up before every show. So, got that taken care of. So we got a great show tonight for everybody. So yeah, are you guys? Did you guys go out and buy any, new clothes or cars or houses with your BFX tokens?
I think I got like 30 cents of it. I barely used I barely used Bitfinex. I think
Oh
after
yeah.
like two hacks, I was like, or two conveniently timed downtime. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep my money here anymore.
Yeah, I'm assuming since you guys are in Canada, you can actually sell BFX or whatever it is. So there, I didn't really read through the entire. Maybe somebody in the chat can help us out, but I know there's a big disclaimer for basically U.S. customers where you can't. It's either buy or sell BFX tokens just due to the regulations.
Oh, wow.
But and I believe that's U.S. only.
I didn't realize that was also on Finix. I know the Americans absolutely hate OKCoin, or the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which, but I didn't know that was also prevalent on Finix as well. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Finex had issues with like the CFTC last year, and they had to make a lot of changes to their swap products, I believe. So they've been kind of in regular contact with the U.S. authorities to make sure whatever they're doing is above board. So I guess that's why they kind of instituted this BFX freeze or whatever you want to call it for U.S.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna be in a lot of trouble once they kind of
I
get
mean,
this all figured out. They took everyone's money. Like if they just had, done a haircut to the Bitcoin owners and maybe anyone who was using USD and quarters, but they took people who had like US dollars on the site. They took people who had Ethereum Classic,
right.
and Litecoin. They sold it all, and then they gave them this BFX token to say, "Oh yeah, here you go. No big deal. You'll get your money back eventually."
Yeah, it's really a shame.
Isn't that what the big sort of beef about crypto and the fiat currency system and all that kind of stuff has been all along, and why people wanted crypto to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, technically, a BFX token is like a fractional reserve, and who knows if it's even really going to be repopulated with actual currency. I mean, they say it's going to, because they're allegedly taking a share of trading fees, and kind of that's how BFX is going to get its value down the road. But I don't know if you guys follow, BitMEX puts out this awesome crypto trader digest, and they just, Arthur from BitMEX just gave him a royal lashing, just kind of explaining, how everything's working. So, yeah, I mean, if anybody hasn't been watching, following this drama, I mean, it sounds like the big issue is, they use BitGo kind of as their multi-sig provider, and BitGo basically didn't have the proper limiting in place. Like their sole product existed to kind of first of all, they were kind of touting insurance, and then that changed, and then they were also basically serving up multi-sig wallets to Bitfinex, but not really putting any controls in place. So I don't know, man. Do your own research. This industry never fails to excite. One week we have ETC, ETH. The next week we have 160,000 Bitcoin stolen.
This is definitely one way to get the conversation off of ETH, though, eh?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, I saw one tweet from a guy who was he's like, I've been in the space since 2013, and so far 2016 has been the most like action-packed, drama-filled year thus far in crypto. Like you had the DAO hack, then you had the hard fork, and now you have the third biggest hack in Bitcoin history. And
Yeah.
like this has been a pretty crazy year, and we're only halfway through it. Oh yeah, there was a halvening too for Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it's definitely been a crazy year. I saw an article, Bloomberg got the facts like completely wrong. They said they were comparing this to the Mt. Gox hack, and they said something like the Mt. Gox hack resulted in $27 billion worth of Bitcoins stolen. Something like that. I don't know. I think they were like just transposing it in, versus a $1,200 value and added an extra zero there or something. But
well, that's the thing, right? If it's and that's the irony of all of this is.
I mean, the market cap is only what, like $6 billion or something like that. So I don't know how.
We're a lot of people that are watching this are thinking that, oh, maybe the crypto market's totally mature and this is nearing the end of the story. I mean, geez, guys, we're not even getting started. I mean, I find it really amusing how people post like the relative market cap size of Bitcoin versus some sort of major conglomerate or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would make the argument that we'll know that crypto's arrived when we're talking in the trillions of dollars, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we're not. I mean, one could argue we're still just scratching the surface here.
I mean, I really hope so. I mean, this is obviously new to all of us,
the point that I wanted to make there was that Bloomberg can't even really justify a story unless the scandal is in the billions. If the scandal's in the millions, that's teenage stuff, right?
Good point. Yeah, so maybe they doctor the numbers just to meet their minimum threshold for rating.
That's right. So that, if anything, that should be an excellent testament of how small this market still is. It's got a long, long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, hey, just honestly, just from when we started coding Coinigy basically in like late 2013, things have changed so much. So I can't wait to see where we're at 5 years from now. I really don't, I don't see this market dying. I mean, it's not going anywhere. And really,
if anything, you guys probably remember last. Well, I know in the last couple shows, I've been sort of saying that. I sure hope that Bitcoin itself just does a nice clean A, B, C, D kind of correction and just clean this up really quickly, because then that lays the groundwork for even further rallies down the road, as opposed to us carving out this massive harmonic top and then failing and then, that's the end of the bull. So the fact that the Bitcoin prices come down just nice and boom, 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 just nice and cleanly, actually, in my opinion, and I think Alex, like we were even sort of exchanging messages on Twitter and stuff, that if anything, this is a good sign, in my opinion, for the crypto market in total. And then also, in the face of all these other side stories, there's stocks like, or the coins like Factum that are actually having really nice rallies right now.
Yeah, the company behind Factum just raised $5.2 million. So you're seeing even like money coming in that's not even represented in the tokens that we're trading. So there's definitely a lot going on. I just actually pulled up this link here. It's one of my favorite sites to check out, cryptolization.com. That compares the Bitcoin and altcoin market caps against the companies in the S&P 500. So right now we're just worth a little bit more than Chipotle. So you get an idea of how small this is. But when we hit that peak at like, what was it, $800 or something, we were at 302, and it had just passed Red Hat, which is the Linux Foundation, like the company that kind of develops
Linux. Yeah, I remember
software.
You showed us that, I think, on a show.
Yeah. So I think that was a pretty pivotal moment, saying like this whole space is kind of, in terms of open source software and what it means for the future, it's worth the same as Linux, and that was a really kind of key point. So yeah, I like the site, and also this percentage here too, seeing that altcoins are kind of taking more and more of the market share as we go along.
Well, and that's what I want to see, is I wouldn't mind seeing how that relative performance of the various altcoins versus Bitcoin. I had some guy today who was just like, And Dash, have you guys noticed that the transaction times for Bitcoins has taken a long time for these things to be processed?
Oh yeah.
And one guy on my site was quite explicit about how he loves Dash because it's relatively quick.
Yeah, like playing around with Steam, I just realized like how fast like the BitShares network is, and the code that soon it's 3-second blocks. So like, yeah, your money shows up in Bittrex within like 30
What are
seconds.
we looking at here, Alex?
Oh, this is the chat room, the live chat.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, would you rather see me, Brian?
I don't even know what camera is on. Was the public looking at Alex's chat room there?
Well,
Yeah, I think they were.
That's the live chat.
Hopefully they're in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Okay. We should probably mention before we go on too much more, if there's anybody who hasn't already put their name in for the raffle.
Oh, he's doing it.
What? What am I doing?
You're going to make Alex add people to the raffle during the
I'll
show.
monitor the hashtag. It's not
Okay, forget it. Well, it would just,
No, your cat's out of the bag. Got to do it now.
Oh, okay. Well, just, hey, Alex, if you're watching that chat room, and if somebody does happen to put in the reference TRI raffle in that chat room, then might as well add them to the list.
All right, yeah, I recognize a couple of these names, so we'll see if there's any new names that pop up that aren't on the wheel already.
Okay. And for anybody who's watching and thinking, how many? Well, I guess we don't have to do. Well, I suppose it'll show on the wheel, right? But we had about a dozen or so people that threw their name in. So actually, statistically speaking, you got pretty good odds of winning this little contest. So,
yeah. Here, I'll show you the wheel. It's probably better than better than most lotteries out there.
Yeah, what the hell, eh? $500, $500.
Yeah.
So, and I did notice we have one female registrant. So I really hope she wins, because it would be good to have finally a female student in this crypto. I can't remember what her name is, but I'm rooting for you.
Well, good you're unbiased, Brian. But let's maybe check out the Bitcoin chart. Because I think that whole Finex debacle kind of gave us that perfect retracement into the reload zone. Like you were kind of saying on the last show, man, I hope it just hits this level quickly and comes back. And you know what? We really ripped that Band-Aid off.
Yeah, a good old Bitcoin chart. And what market are we going to look at? Because I trade the OKCoin futures market, so that's the one that I'm always looking at.
Well, Bitstamp's probably a good one just for relative spot price.
Sorry, say that again?
Bitstamp.
Okay. USD.
And we might need to see your screen there, Brian.
Do a screen share.
All right.
Dictate what you're saying.
All right. So, and I've been sort of putting out these kind of charts for a while now. I was kind of thinking that, we had these sort of blow off top, and this was a nice solid floor that happened to be a 61.8 retracement off of this range. You see that tag right there. And so I've been musing for a while about how I reckon that good old Mountain Man needed to be validated there. That's basically what just happened. I think I even put out a tweet. Actually, that was with regard to Factum. We should look at that later on because that's such a cool chart. But, with Bitcoin, there's a professional futures trader that I used to work with. His name is Brandon Rigo, probably one of the best crude oil traders I've ever worked with. I mean, just a monster trader. He used to literally just blindly buy 61.8 fibs. And this has got to be one of the most anxiety-filled trades out there. Because you can imagine at some point on this candle, this was just one big-ass solid red candle all the way down to here. And price was just collapsing into this event, right? Yep. So, anybody who can do this in the public, hats off to you. It's extremely difficult. But it just goes to show, and everybody watching this, just Bloody, just make a note of this. I mean, this is about as clear as 61.8 demonstration gets. Um, so I think that was a key element in play as well. You know, we have all these old highs here, and you guys have heard me say before, right? If we ever get sort of like a market structure breakout, well, I suppose we go here to here to here to here, right? Now it broke out through the top here. You can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be a whole bunch of people that have got open orders just sitting here, and they're just going to say, look at, I'm not going to chase price. If it comes back down to the original breakout point, I'm just going to have my order working. And I think that's exactly what just happened here. Right? Market literally was in free fall, total vacuum in here, and then it slammed into all these old highs, and there's a whole bunch of open orders just sitting there waiting to get filled. And as soon as the market saw all these buy orders down in here, and it punched into them, the irony of it all is that there were probably guys that were short, right, and that were needing to buy back their positions to take profits, and you know, on an event like this, the market just simply ran out of sellers in here, and it just jackknifed violently the other direction. You've also noticed that this monster tail here from the previous original first dump, and that was right off of the Finex news itself, wasn't it? That tail eventually got eaten. So you notice that this most recent low, we just put in this big old honking tail here. So my sort of hunch at the moment is, you know, at the very least we have to expect, you know, at least a test of the sort of bottom of the bodies, and we might come into these tails a little bit. As well, you know, we have a pretty important psychological level here. Good old $500. Talk about a big fat round number. Doesn't get bigger or fatter or rounder than 500 bucks. So, you know, you can kind of see how our reload zone sort of lines up with that $500 level again as well there. And that would also be, you know, coming down and eating a chunk of these tails. And as we said, there's probably other people that didn't even get filled here and that are going, oh, geez, I can't believe I didn't do that. Okay, fine, I'll put my order in here. I'll do it this time, right?
Yep.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if there's some orders sitting in here.
Well, from a fundamental standpoint with the whole Bitfinex hack thing, I think a lot of people who want to get their money off of their Bitfinex, like even US dollars, they're going to buy Bitcoin in order to move it off immediately rather than wait for the fiat system to hold up. So I think that will create some buy pressure. Maybe it will go lower in order to kind of, you know, make a loss of arbitrage for them. So as we see these guys kind of starting to sell. But I actually just read the other day, we have another auction coming up. The U.S. government said on Monday it plans to auction over 2,700 Bitcoins that were forfeited in several cases, one of them being the the Silk Road. So these are being auctioned off on August 22nd. So yeah, mark your calendars.
August 22nd, you said?
So that's awfully short notice, eh?
It's not a whole lot though, because I think the last auctions they were auctioning off like I think like 10,000. I think this is this might be the last little bit, the last block.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the last one was like in groups of 2,000 or something, and you could bid on a specific group, something like that.
Well, you know, the irony of Bitcoin is, and especially if we go look at like OKCoin and stuff like that, if they're given the opportunity, they are so going to go after these stocks up here. And so, you know, if we sort of held into a lull in August 22nd, you said is when this next auction comes up here. That's going to be out on this date here. You know, I could easily see, in fact, just symmetrically, right? We could come down, up, down, do something like that, and that would just be very symmetrical. I don't think it's a good idea to be chasing this. This looks a little dangerous here. Notice that this is our 38.2. And in our courses, we talk about how 38.2, you should sort of let that resolve first before you make any huge decisions. We could very easily put in a nice M here and continue our way lower. And that would set up one of my sort of bot setup, short setups. And it's highly unlikely. I mean, maybe this consolidation sets up a very short-term pattern, but it's highly unlikely that we'll just go straight up from here. That very rarely happens. You can even see here a lot of chopping. I mean, at some point we came right back down. And actually in very similar fashion to this sort of candle here, you see how it came right down to the bottom of these bodies right in here? You know, I wouldn't be surprised at the very least we get some sort of test in here. My hunch is if you're hunting for a buying location, really concentrate on sort of this $500 area. That's sort of my 2 cents there. And one might argue that if we do rally up and put in market structure, these signs of divergences, blah blah blah, you can start thinking about shorting again up in here. Notice, and if I'm not mistaken, if we look at the Finex chart, it's just a big hole up here.
Yep.
But even on stamp, there's also a little bit of a gap there, right? And I don't know whether, because you guys don't really track the commodities too much on Coinigy, do you, Will?
Nope.
Right. So if I pulled up a gold chart from a competitor site, you're not going to be too upset with me.
No, go for it.
Okay.
We use their charting library, so no
yeah. So I had tweeted out something today, which I found really interesting. Let's see if I can find it here. Where I was looking at the price of gold through the 1970s, and I noticed an awful similarity to what we're seeing in Bitcoin now. And you know me, I love doing these funny market symmetry studies. I'm trying to find it here. Here it is. And I pulled up a chart of gold, and isn't this interesting? Like gold back in the early 70s, it had just a monstrous rally from about $30 all the way up to a couple $100. So similar to Bitcoin's kind of face rip rally. And then we went through like a year or two of just a grinding bear, right? Really washed the market out. Again, very similar to what we saw in Bitcoin. Then just this long, slow march higher here, doing a lot of sort of technical cleanup of that bear. And I kind of thinking that we're in sort of this period right here, where I think, I don't see the bearish sentiment on Bitcoin right now to justify a bear market. And we haven't really had a blow off top where the public is all caught long, kind of like through that 2013 event, and then of course Willy Bot talk and all that kind of stuff. I think really what we've seen just over the past 6 months, really, well, let's say better part of a year, especially through that last November rally, was actually very just technically normal, technically healthy. In fact, I remember you and when we had. Not So Fast, is that his name? I can't remember. We had,
Yep.
I think that was his name, right? We had him on the show there a month or so ago. You and he, Alex, both kind of thought that you were going to look for some sort of short-term pullback, but then, ultimately clean up and then just a resumption of the bull, eh? And I'm kind of thinking that that's kind of what I'm going to be expecting here. I'm not going to be looking for Bitcoin to fall out of bed here.
Well, that's a good sign then.
Yeah, we need to squeeze those miners out. Like, we got a lot of guys who are mining at like just bare minimum profits. I think we need to push it down just a bit lower. Those guys are packing up shop. The new miners are coming out.
And then there's the question of efficiency, right? I heard you guys talking a month or so ago about there's this whole new technology that's come out, mining gear. A lot more efficient, a lot, it can mine at a lot cheaper prices.
Yeah. There's actually with cliff notes on the meetup. Sorry, there's a meetup of developers, Bitcoin developers and miners, and I think one of the people that was at it was from BitFury, and they're making shipper containers shipping container miners, and the size of the transistors on the chips are basically on par with what you're seeing from like Intel. So that means mining ASICs have caught up to computer hardware, like
Wow.
mainstream computer hardware, within 3 years. And now that we're on par with that, the next big innovation is going to come when we can see a new innovation in computer chipsets. So really, if you want to buy mining hardware, we're getting to the point where it's kind of plateaued, or it's hit the wall that everyone else is pushing it. Maybe even mining hardware might push for be the what is it called? The incentive for Intel to create smaller chipsets, like because now there's this huge growth market in mining software, mining hardware. So yeah, like we're 8 times more efficient with this new stuff that's coming out. So right now, like we
So
just
Moore's law is actually coming into effect, at least for now.
Okay, so our old thesis was that subsidized electricity, your cost to mine bitcoins under the old payout was somewhere like $100-150, and if you had to pay for electricity, it was like $250-300. Can we just double those prices with the halving?
Basically, yeah.
You have to start bringing those prices down because of the efficiency of the new hardware.
Yeah, but none of that hardware is released yet, at least as far as we know. We've seen like a small spike on the difficulty chart. We've seen a small spike on the chart, which maybe.
Did you order a malt, Alex, or?
I'm really hoping for a daiquiri here.
He's actually a barista by
He's actually making drinks right now.
Yeah. Well,
times are tough on the farm.
Yeah, really, I need to relax on a tough Wednesday night.
He was actually short Factum, not long.
Oh no, I stand very long on Factum, and I'm very happy with that. Good. Maybe that's a good segue. Let's maybe check out that Factum chart, because I think Factum is really probably one of the best app coins we're seeing coming out. And we were kind of just discussing before the show, like they did a seed funding round where they got $5.2 million in funding for Factum Incorporated. So this is now like companies are getting funded, and like the token, like this is outside of the space of the tokens we trade on the show, but we're seeing now software companies are really showing up their stuff. So Factum is going to be outsourcing their encryption of government documents to the Bitcoin network, but basically all the data and like the bloat, as we'll call it, it's going to be on the Factum chain. So,
wow. So this is cool, and I appreciate your fundamental input. Totally awesome. Check out the distribution top up here though that's coming in after this rally, eh?
Oh yeah.
So
this sexy is market maker.
Pardon me?
The market maker is beautiful on this. Like you almost should look at it in USD value. I don't know who has USD. Maybe Poloniex is a USD pair.
No, they don't have any fiat on Polo.
Well,
look
at. I mean, what letter of the alphabet is this?
Oh, that's a W.
Looks like a inverted W.
Yeah, one of those upside down W's.
But so it's this is a great testament, guys, and the people that are watching in the public, right, of just the tradability. This is, in my opinion, one of the sort of darlings of the street right now. And here's the daily chart, and here's the cute little bottom that I had tweeted out. I don't know whether you guys saw that. I tweeted out a chart on this Factum. And even, just tried to make reference to the fact that really everything that we talk about, and anybody who's watching this show, we talk about this stuff on a weekly basis. This is the value you should be able to get out of this material is, in essence, memorize, copy, save this reload zone concept. It works very, very well. And Coinigy gives you the ability to create these studies and pull them up at your leisure very quickly. Simply, don't chase. Don't get, you worked really hard for your money. And you've got to learn. If you want to be a professional and make money at this over the long term, you have to force yourself just simply not to buy on this move up here. And you just, you're going to draw your little reload zone tools, and you're just going to simply say, look at, even if I was totally gung-ho and I wanted to buy, at least I'm going to just wait till the 61.8. We just saw on Bitcoin, for example, how it hit its 61.8 and jackknifed off of it. You can see how there was that kind of, I told you that was one of my favorite commodity traders, Brandon Rigo, Mountain Man, one of his tools, and that's a perfect tool that a day trade pit trader would use, is just buy your 61.8 and then a move away from it, obviously take profits. Here you can see on the Factum it worked just in the short term, but then ultimately it had to come down and work its way lower. I think this is a fantastic testament to, building reasons for a trade. I teach in the courses, and I've tried to convey to you guys on multiple occasions. I really like people to have like more than just one reason to justify risking your hard-earned money.
3 reasons.
Thank you. Very good, Will. And here's a perfect example of, okay, fine, price came down into an acceptable buying zone, but we had the smatterings of what we call a bullish divergence starting to form here. And I might really argue that it really didn't get going in earnest until it started breaking out through this yellow horizontal line here. And it sort of did this on what I like to call a double divergence kind of move, where you have this bigger divergence here and you had a smaller divergence, because keep in mind the market just kept making new lows here. So we have trade location. We have signs of divergence, and internally the market's looking a heck of a lot stronger internally than price would lead you to believe. And then, here comes a moving average crossover. I think we did a tutorial for the Coinigy audience on moving averages. You can hopefully see the nice W that came in here. There was actually, and it's interesting, me personally, full disclosure, I took 2 different approaches to this, and this is actually a really good testament to why, you can only judge how good of a trader you are by how disciplined you are in following your trading plan. And my little old lady approach is so simple, and it just, it's very low anxiety. It's really simple to follow it. So I implement little old lady on almost all of these. It was interesting how I did attempt to try and margin trade this, and I sort of kind of half-assed it in that the trade setup, there was a nice little double bottom, and there was a bit of a bull divergence that was forming in here, and of course we were in trade location. It came in and I bought this on margin on this little double bottom, and my plan was, simply put, if it breaks these lows, you just got to get the hell out, and sure enough I did, and I booked the loss, and it's a trader's life, that's the way it goes. But I find it fascinating how the market came down, put in another double bottom, but this time mentally I just wasn't committed to the plan, and so I let this margin trade go, and I just didn't even trade it because, well, no, you don't know, but I wasn't mentally committed to the plan. And I think here's an excellent example where sometimes margin traders, and this is a daily chart, this is over a fairly lengthy time period. Keep in mind, like day traders in the ES or the crude or gold or anything, they'd be looking at the same sort of thing, where the point I'm trying to make is sometimes, traders will get a setup and it'll fail, and then they got to wait for the next setup, and the next setup works. I mean, it's just so typical of a trader's life. And really, if I had committed to the plan and I'd taken this trade and it failed and I got stopped out and I booked the loss, fine. You just wait for the next bus comes along, next W that comes in, take it, and this one works. And if you have a greater than 2-to-1 risk reward on your setups, then technically you don't even have to be right 50% of the time to make money from trading. And that's a trader's life. And that's a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow, is that you have to be able to be wrong, but at the same time, you have to commit to the plan, and you got to just stick to the plan. So fascinating example here, really good working example.
Yeah, just to kind of, reiterate the whole retracement thing too, Brian. I've had a couple times where someone pointed out, a breakout to me. I'm like, oh, that was pretty nice. Oh man, I wish I had some of that. And I look at like the price and see it kind of coming back just slightly. So I just draw a little fib on it. I'm like, okay, I'll place some orders here. If it comes back, it comes back. And you know what? I've gotten some pretty bitchin' fills in the past couple of days, just from like getting that 68 fib, the 61.8 fib, getting filled up on a breakout, and then it keeps on going again.
I absolutely love it. If you find, and really, I don't know whether we see it here, but I've seen happen quite often, where you get sort of like a W breakout, and then if you work the stink bid off of that reload zone area just after the double bottom, after the W, oh man, those work beautifully. So yeah, in fact, Ian, remember I was squawking about your Jumbox coin. How I loved that trade. How that fill was just that fill was basically off of that exact same premise. I think I did want to, and we've been doing a ton of trading. I'm actually a bit surprised, considering how late it is in the season. I'm actually surprised at how many trades we actually have done recently. But let's see.
Well, we all know that crypto doesn't sleep. It's 365, 24 hours a day.
Okay, so this unit trade, this is a good example, right, where I literally threw a stink bid right off of the original W right here. And I got a fill on this handle here, right? Isn't that sick? And really, this is the kind of trades that I want our audience to really become sharks at, right? So, and that's a combination of the fibs. Go look at the actual chart for the original double bottoms. Drill down on lower time frame, see if there's any gaps or anything, and then go look in the order book and see if there's any notches in the order book. Those work really, really well. Okay, I kind of went off on a tangent there. Sorry about that.
It's all right. Let's see if we can find some new ones. Maybe we'll get the wheel going up here. And
do you know the story behind this FIBRE? Is Bittrex going to kick them off?
I'd have to double check the status to see here. Why don't we get a coin going, and I'll pull up the status.
I don't know whether you saw this thing. I mean, it just went absolutely nuts.
Well, yeah, Bittrex is doing a bunch of delistings.
Here, look at what happened on Polo. Look at the difference in price action. There was one guy that follows me, and he said he got something like 4 or 5 doubles off on this nutso spike on Polo. I mean, it just went absolutely crazy. Let's see if I can show you. Look at this. I mean, it was sitting down here at 13,000, and it went all the way up to 0.003. That's just crazy.
This is here. Let me share my screen here. I've got the status page pulled up for all the delistings.
Well, they say that this coin's broken, and what I find hilarious is how does this rally happen if the chain is broken?
Well, that's because it's not happening on the chain, Brian. It's happening on a centralized ledger. So like the problem is there's no way you can transfer it. But like all of these were red and brown the other day, or they were dead, or they were non-operational. Now they're all green again. So like, I think this is what Bittrex is trying to do too. It's like, hey, like if you know the developer,
time to kick the volume back in gear, guys.
Well, it's not just volume. It's like we're getting a lot of complaints that people can't withdraw, or we're not going to keep your coin trading if you're not going to maintain the chain. Like we're trading blockchain tokens. Like we're not trading, Excel spreadsheets.
Okay, so there is that FIBRE there, and it says it will be removed on August 15th. Now, given what just happened here over the past half a day here on this FIBRE, is that going to change Bittrex's tone? Like, is this going to make any difference?
Oh, it's possible. Like, I hear that SPHR is probably going to get listed back on, or going to be back on. Like, these are just warnings right now. They're saying, yeah, they're going to be delisted on the 15th. If you feel you want to keep the market listed, please have the development team contact us. So this is kind of like Bittrex is like, we haven't heard from the guys running these tokens in a while, and they're not working, so we don't hear from them. We're going to delist them. That's the breaks of it. Like, if you're running this company or this token, you're kind of entitled to have to, you have the responsibility to kind of be in touch with these exchanges. At least that's the way, like, Bittrex feels about it. It's like they don't want to be, dealing with support tickets because someone else is doing their job.
Okay. Anyway, it's just really fascinating to watch this play out.
Oh, and it's definitely like a market event now too. Like when like when that delisting happens, a lot of stuff goes down.
Yeah.
It's almost the same as a market listing. But here, let's get the wheel pulled up here.
Yeah, sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's always good to talk about Bittrex and how they do with things. That's our list.
Look at dude. Can you guys see my screen? Look how this BFX guys again, audience. Look at this. Look how this reload zone, right? All we did was draw a fib off of the low to the high, 61.8 to 78.6, and look at what's happening. Isn't that incredible?
Oh man, BFX tokens, man, that's the newest shitcoin on the block, isn't it? That's the shitcoin to end all shitcoins.
Well, I mean, that's the irony of it all, is it doesn't matter, and I often joke with people, right? It doesn't matter whether it's crypto, whether it's S&P futures, whether it's broiler chickens, right? We're talking about the way the matrix is actually built, right?
Yeah.
Alex, do you know anything in terms of BFX? I mean, did they announce the total number of tokens or anything to that extent?
The total number of tokens. You know what? I maybe read that somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just because it's obviously not secured by a blockchain, right? I mean, this isn't an actual crypto asset.
It is. It's supposed to be an asset on the Omni chain.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But then I heard some story that apparently somebody created an Omni token called BFX before they did.
Oh no.
So I'm not sure what they've done now if they are on that chain still. But yeah, I'm still trying to get in touch with Omni because that's what Tether is running on too, like USDT. So Omni is basically exactly like Counterparty. So maybe if we're lucky, we'll check out Omni because it's breaking out now. But I just spun the wheel here. It says Syscoin.
We haven't looked at Sys in a while, have we?
Yeah, you know what? I bet it's probably in a pretty good spot. Just guessing, actually. But no, I'd like to see what it's up to.
All right, let's see what we got here. Well, yeah. In fact, I think I was putting out tweets and stuff saying I was pleased to see that these guys were holding in as well as they were. So that's good to see.
And I think they burned a bunch of tokens too, if I'm not mistaken. So now there's less supply out there.
Well, that always makes investors happy.
Oh yeah.
So what do we got here? Oh, Jesus H. Christ.
Wow, this is when they were 100 satoshis. Yeah, that was a pretty big number. Or it wasn't, too much to look at. But now that they're chilling at over 1,000 satoshis. Like we're still at 10 times the lows.
Yeah, that's a little, $3.2 million market cap. So somebody, and have you been using their platform?
No.
Oh, shit, yeah.
No, the thing is, there's so many of these projects, and I do like playing with some of the stuff, but if it's not, simple and easy to use, like Steven is really easy for me to use every day, then I'm not going to probably use it. I don't even use OpenBazaar right now, but,
So, if anything, are you telling me that this market's getting a little oversaturated?
Well, there's definitely, projects that are doing the same thing. Like I just said, Omni and Counterparty do the same thing. Well, OpenBazaar and Syscoin are very similar. They're approaching the problem from two different directions, but yeah it's different ways to cut it.
Right. I think technically speaking, it looks pretty obvious. There seems to be some sort of level in here. Can you kind of see how far back this goes?
Oh yeah, the tails are dipping into it.
All right. But you can see there's like a line in the sand here, right? And I think I think this definitely has to be mentioned that there is a bit of risk here. You margin traders, be very careful. I would imagine momentum probably doesn't look that great. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I mean it's trying to point up, but you can see actually it just confirmed a bearish divergence here, right? Momentum just really isn't nothing really to get too excited about. Right? It's just been slowly cascading its way lower here. So nothing, like I said, nothing to get really too excited. Willie's just sort of middle of the road. We're getting just a bunch of wishy-washy there. Volume, again, nothing really to get too excited about here. We just, it just looks to me like they had their sort of big hurrah. Seasonally, we've come into a very sort of, friendly time of year. And I hate to say it, but, this is it. This is kind of like Litecoin. Remember when we looked at Litecoin last show?
Yep.
And people are like, okay, which way is the asset going? And, a lot of times as a technician, I just say, well, I don't know, you got a coin in your pocket? Let's flip a coin, right? Which way, and the point here is that, could I put new money to work right now in this name? I don't think I can see 3 reasons to get me really excited. I suppose we could probably, play this bottoming formation if she does decide to break out here. I'm not really getting any like huge major, got to go out, pound the table, buy this right now. And I guess the way I would look at it is you can really see that the moving averages are really going to just sort of dictate this. If we lose, you see how all the moving averages are all clustering together here. So if we lose this level here, she's toast, right? But that hasn't happened, and I'm not saying it's going to. And really, momentum players, you'll know that the bull's back in charge. And you can see how they've tried to take it up into this wick up here. They've tried several times, and somebody is actually got a shitload of coins to sell up here at this 1500 area. And it'd be really interesting if we could find the internals, whether the company themselves are liquidating coins up at that area. I don't know. It's interesting that you say that they're reducing supply. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Check out the blockchain, see if any of the top addresses have changed recently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything to get too excited about here. This is kind of, flip of the coin. And then also, too, audience, please remember, seasonally, this rally window is getting rather old. Once we get into sort of September, October, November, be careful. Right? We can get our hearts broken really quickly here. So, it's an interesting story. Momentum players, you've got your levels, right? If you're willing to range trade this, if we break out through the top here, risk against these lows, and you can play that. But at the same time, I could very easily see this have to come down and clean up down below as well.
I'll have to dig in deeper here, but it shows that the top 2 addresses have changed in the last 10 hours, and the other one 7 days. So maybe I'll have to see if they've been withdrawing or they're depositing or what the hell's going on here. But there's definitely been movement here and even lower down in the slightly smaller addresses. So,
well, you're probably going to get your signal if you start seeing some volume come in here. Where are the buyers? Where are the buyers?
Maybe sellers, but yeah, let's get on to the next wheel while I make another daiquiri here.
Alright. I can't wait till we pan over to you and you're sitting there like shaking a drink up in your hand and stuff.
Well, let's just hope we don't pan over and he's sitting there milking a cow.
Yeah, that would be a little awkward.
Well, give me a bit. I'll have high-speed internet at home soon. They've been liquidating some other people. All right, we're on game.
Ooh, I like your Doge wow on there. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the next one?
Game.
G-A-M-E.
You just lost the game.
Well, we got some half-decent market structure here. Not bad.
There were some crazy lows before, and I think I interviewed these guys at CoinFest in the spring, where they actually are working with some slot machine developers or something. So it's basically like a token for casinos, the same as chips.
It's interesting how this guy seasonally topped right through that August period previous year. So, watch out again for seasonality. I suppose one could argue, right? If you're a trader, then really I just don't see anything to get too excited about. If you're an investor, I would imagine there's probably a lot of higher time frame players who are very interested in this action right in here. And you'll notice kind of like on our Bitcoin and some of the other names we've been looking at, 61.8, 78.6, there's 200 period moving average. Coming into old market breakout levels, got key lows in here. So if you're going to be a buyer investor wise, taking a stab down in this area is probably makes a lot of sense. This actually reminds me of that IOC. Sort of looks similar to this as well. Not bad structure over the longer term here. Classic signs of blow off top when you see the market go up like this and momentum just go absolutely nuts, and then just crash down through all of these lows. Seen that so often. I mean, that's a classic sign of a blow off top and momentum there. Looks like we're getting short term a little oversold here, but certainly nothing to get too excited about. You could probably do like a date frame kind of thing, where I could see a test of these highs, but let's just ballpark this and say something roughly from here to its ultimately bottom. And really, I suppose there's a couple, but anyway, let's say something like that. That correction period, and then if we duplicate that, did we get something similar through here? Not bad. I mean, a little bit shorter, I suppose. Just trying to get an idea of what correction windows kind of look like for this guy. So, we're probably thinking something in the neighborhood of there to there. Somewhere in this window here is probably where this thing's ultimately going to bottom. That, October, November, we've talked lots about that, seasonal bottoming window. That's ideally when I like to see these things bottom into tax loss selling season. If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm long this, and I seem to recall that we banged out a bunch of doubles on this thing. So really, for my purposes, I'm just sitting on free coins, and I certainly wouldn't even think about touching this right now. And if anything, you just got to let everything just cool down. I mean, look at this, guys. If you can just take a screenshot and just say, Brian, I only trade coins when I see this kind of consolidation, right? I mean, that's perfect. Exactly what we want to do. Right, we do reload zones, and gee whiz, there we go right in there, off the line in the sand, double bottom. So we just saw that on Factum, same sort of kind of action. That's what we really want to concentrate on. And if we can sneak our way in down through this kind of action down in here, then that sets up when this thing does go nuts like this. Of course, we're laughing, right? So do I see that right now? No. Is this the kind of thing where you just wait and be patient and let this develop? Yeah, sure. I don't think there's any hurry to go and risk your money here right yet.
So I just dug in a little deeper into Syscoin blockchain, and it looks like that one address was a deposit, and the other one was a withdrawal. They removed 25 million coins, and then it's split into two smaller ones. So I don't know if it's going to an exchange or what's going on, but they're currently just sitting still. So there's definitely some movement from that top address, or the one that was a week old. So keep an eye on the market. You never know. There might be something new, some new liquidity coming down, some new volume.
Well, you said that they were destroying coins.
Yeah, that's true. I'll have to read in more of when that happened or if it's currently happening, but I'm just, letting you know that's what I'm seeing on the chain right now, is that there are coins being distributed to some smaller addresses now. Not to be, fudding or anything. Anyone can go and look at this data on what's it called, Chains, spelled with a Z, and then .cryptoid. I'll tweet it out, but it's one of the major blockchains.
Chains.cryptoid.info, great site.
Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest blockchain explorers for altcoins. They have a lot of really good information. Thank you. Let's
Alex helping a customer there. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
Another espresso served.
For sure. These guys are very helpful to me here. They put up with me a lot now. I come here probably 3 days a week. I need that internet.
Did you get your tractor fixed?
The one that caught fire? No, it's just chilling. We'll probably work on it in the winter.
Okay.
Yeah. But for the most part, yeah, things are going good on the farm. You know, I got another early day tomorrow, but no, I'm still finding time for crypto and whatnot. I actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet, but I got invited to a conference to actually speak. So in October, I'll be flying to Spain. So pretty excited. Yeah, I'm gonna take a little trip to Seville and maybe stop off.
Good for you. Family. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, it's exciting stuff. People like the show. They like to hear from me, and you know, I'm giving my opinion, you guys. You know, all this information's online. I'm just trying to learn the same way everyone else is.
Yeah.
But you guys want to look at another coin?
Sure, why not?
All right. Here, oh yeah, here's the site I was looking at.
Do we have? Is that it for the wheel?
1 sec. Yeah, I got the whole wheel here.
We should probably do like one more and then get into the contest. What do you guys think?
I think that's probably pretty good.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys tell me what time did we start? We're I guess about an hour into this tonight. So
yeah, we usually go about an hour and a half. So, and we're an hour in, so we have to allow a little bit of time for the contest.
I didn't see one that actually I totally am trying to buy right now. I don't know whether I'm supposed to tell you. Yeah.
Perfect. We got Nexus NIRO. I'm actually interviewing these guys next Tuesday. So maybe let's get a good idea of what the chart is and see if we got any questions. NIRO. NIRO.
So what do you think about these coins that only list on Bittrex? Oh boy. Oh, wow. Oh, holy shit, I'm Muslim.
I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing. I mean, I think they just, you know, generally take it slow. You know, either they go to Bittrex first or they go to Poloniex first, and then hopefully somebody picks them up.
Well,
but yeah, it looks like NIRO's been on Bittrex for a while, though. So.
Yeah, because they were harping on us the last show 2 weeks ago that, oh, you guys got to look at this. Like, man, it's going to be huge. You got to look at it. Like, you know what?
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. They were taking over our chat room.
Let's see where that puts that. Today is the 10th?
Last show was like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's that DOGE right there, that green DOGE.
11, 12. There's 12 days. When was the last time we got together?
14 days ago.
So on the 29th or so, somewhere in there?
Yeah, I think it's 27th actually.
So this is a fantastic example of when a market is ramping up. That's usually when the talk is most aggressive.
Yep.
You know, especially if you're like if people are involved in the coin, and you probably have a lot of people that are sort of on the inside of coins that are trying to get your attention, eh, Alex?
Yeah, and that's kind of why I like having them on the show too. I'm like, okay, well, let's put this back to reality. I think that's maybe where you rubbed off on me a bit too, Brian, where it's like, all right, I'm really jaded now with what I look at.
Yeah, I noticed from what I've seen lately on the shows, which admittedly hasn't been a lot, but what I've caught, yeah, you know, there's always, Alex always has a little hint of sarcasm in there, which I appreciate. I mean, because I'm a bit cynical myself, so it's.
Well, after a while, you get to realize that people aren't always gonna change the world. So you gotta try and put it back in reality. All right, well, how are you gonna try to do that?
I'm just curious when you're gonna have the cabbage reunion.
He sold the project apparently. That's the last tweet I found was.
Oh jeez.
Jimmy decided to sell the project. I don't know if he got his money for it, but we'll find out. Maybe I'll pick it up. I'll see how much he wants for it.
There you go. Take it over.
Oh yeah, that was my plan all along.
Okay, so you know, my quick 2 cents, and you guys have worked with me long enough. You could probably almost start doing this yourselves. You could almost fill in the blanks here with what I'm about to say.
Yep.
You know, can you justify going and chasing this right here? That's awfully tough. Momentum looks really nasty. And we just got a moving average cross here. So all in all, I hate to say it, but I think the story's kind of over here in the short term for this guy. Doesn't mean it can't, and this is the awesome part about being in bull markets. And guys, I don't know whether you noticed the stock market. The stock market's just big hurry up and grinding sideways, just driving everybody crazy. I mean, the reason why I'm here involved in crypto is this is a bull market. So what ends up happening is that they just sort of clean things up into sort of, seasonal troughs, and the next season comes along and we bust a new high. So, I'm really, that's the reason why I'm here in crypto, is because this is a bull. And the fact that this thing's making higher highs and higher lows over time is a good sign. Does it mean that today is a good place to be going and risking your hard-earned money and taking a shot on this? Maybe not. Clearly, you guys have been, hopefully, the viewers can see the very well-defined sort of WE type action down in here. And you can see there's some big fat cat went and plunked a bunch of money down to work here. And you can see how the momentum started to break out here, off a nice double bottom. So I think it makes sense to be looking for buys, when it was doing this type action. But we're in sort of the cleanup. If anything, this is almost very similar to kind of like Bitcoin right now, where we just had the party, and these guys had a hell of a party, didn't they? Right? And now, unfortunately, we're going through the very normal sort of hangover cleanup. All right, gotta repair the holes in the wall, all that kind of stuff. Clean up all the vomit, So, in the short term, I think probably we could make an argument. In fact, that would actually be a little aggressive in my eyes. I think we make an argument, serious argument, that there's the top of the range is there. The bottom of the current trading range seems to be these tails down in this area here. Interesting that that's right off a mountain man level. So again, thinking back to good old Brandon, you can see how that one of the hardest trades to do, is just that initial smack off of the 61.8 was a fantabulous trade.
Yeah, you make a good point about the psychology of that, especially if you're placing a large trade.
Oh yeah, this is like I said, it's one of the most difficult trades you could possibly do in the marketplace. But if you build a trading plan and you commit to your trading plan, and I used to say when I traded my bot, I used to say when I turned myself into a robot, I traded like a machine. And half of the days I'd come into work and I'd see Brandon trading away, and I swear, I half the time I'd think he was a robot. Just the trades that he took are so incredibly mechanical. In the short term, I think you got a trading range here, and you got volume and momentum in your face. So, I certainly couldn't go and justify risking my hard-earned money. If anything, if you want to be cheeky, work your stink bids down here off the line in the sand kind of idea. Here's the 200-period moving average. In the same vein that wicks like to be eaten, tails love to be eaten as well. And you notice there's a pretty big juicy tail right down in here. So you might even just be cheeky and work your stink bid off of a munching of this tail down here, and you get filled into sort of that late summer, early fall kind of time period. And really, those that I find that just on balance, if you want to make money in this world, you got to be trying to buy against lows and sell against highs. And because this is a bull market, higher highs and higher lows, I don't have a problem working stink bids, and the number of coins out is fairly respectable, so that's it's certainly not problematic. So I wouldn't have a problem working a stink bid down against these levels down in here, but I can't really chase it up here. All right, so what do you think? Shall we leave it at that?
Contest time?
Sure, whatever you guys want. Looks like Alex has gone into a cave or something. Oh, now we've lost his audio.
Oh, yeah, we can't hear you, Alex. Oh, now we can't see you either.
Oh, no. I certainly hope you're not driving. All right. Well, maybe we're gonna have to do one more. Well, actually, he's got the wheel. He's got our
Yep.
destiny in his hands. Come in, Alex. Maybe Alex can type this in. What are we gonna do here?
Hear me?
Yeah, Alex.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, yeah, Alex.
All right. I maybe screwed up my headphones. All right. Let's see here. I'll try and share my screen. I'm chilling in my car right now, outside of the coffee shop, but
And we lost him.
see my screen?
Oh.
Hello?
Okay, now we do.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
you're
go.
cutting in and out.
And you're done. I love that.
Okay.
And, nope, and you're back.
Maybe I'll switch to my hotspot and then it will work. One sec.
Did anybody in the chat
you might lose me
ask
here
to be
briefly.
added?
Yeah, we had a couple ads from chat.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if Alex handled that. I assume he did.
Yeah. Am I good?
Yeah, it sounded good.
Here. I sound alright? Here,
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, I'll go audio only just for a second. Maybe what I'll get you to do, Brian, while I switch over to my phone, I would be really remiss if you didn't talk about Doge, because I think you would probably like it. You might actually want to buy some Doge, and someone in the chat is probably saying that too. So I'll maybe drop out here for a second and get my feed back up, and then we'll do the giveaway. But maybe I'll talk about Doge for a sec, all right?
Okay, where's
That works.
Okay, cool.
Gotta get back on screen share, Brian.
Oh. All
We
right.
caught you vaping, man.
Tobacco. It's nothing funny.
Sure.
All right. Well, better put that down. Okay. Doge. DOGE. And what's up with that Mono, is it? Isn't Mono?
Mona is like the Japanese version of Doge.
Yeah, what the hell, man? I want that damn Mona to get going. Yeah, not a bad looking trade location. I mean, I can just eyeball this. I can see that it's in a very respectable location. So, good old line in the sand is acting as a nice little line in the sand. Yeah, so, and you know, I've talked to you guys, you know, those watching in the audience, we've talked about this before, where you'll often find that if we lose the line in the sand will now act as resistance. So my hunch here over the short term is that we've got a bit of a brick wall that's sort of right off of these levels here. I would say in the short term at best you're stuck in this trading range. Momentum, not bad. Bull divergence, it looks like it's confirmed. Yeah. Nothing really to get too excited about on the buy side. There's a gazillion of these things out, though, isn't there?
Yeah. This thing is traded in really low quantity. I think if you want more resolution, you got to go to the Litecoin market, and then it trades in a couple Litoshis.
So Doge.
You don't have to go there. There probably won't be any volume, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's so small. Like, there's so many of them that now, like, a 10% move is like 3 satoshis or whatever. So it's kind of funny. Like, there's not a lot of resolution to the market.
Yeah, and you know, we saw this thing really get going in earnest when it put in this nice bottom here, and that day it did 197 million coins. All right. So, I mean, you got to see some serious volume here. It did 118 billion this day. Don't like to see the volume trail off like this. So, there was some sort of push here, right? And what was the news that on this breakout, Alex? Do you know what the news event was here?
It was all the Doge GIFs that everybody posted in Jumbuck Slack.
That was me. No, I think it was Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin, motorcycle. The creator of Litecoin he did a patch for Litecoin, and since Litecoin and Doge have the same code base, he merged it in with Doge as well. So there was just a development update, but then also like Vitalik tweeted about it too. So lots of people found out about it.
Okay, so really the way I see it is because we broke to new lows, you do have a cute little double bottom. And anybody who bought this breakout here, you basically have to risk to a break of these lows. Nice little double bottom within a double bottom here too. This breakout level, it says here, is 39, and we got as high as 49. So, I suppose you could have your order sitting up top here to try and like half go on a double. I kind of think at this point right now it's kind of a coin toss in my eyes which way this thing breaks. But
wow.
Hmm?
Wow, such disappoint.
I'm sorry.
Much disappoint.
If anything, what I see is this kind of looks like, and really I think you'll know for certain that this thing's ready to go when this what is it? What do we say? 49, 48, 49 level is recaptured. Remember we were talking about that coin just there a few minutes ago, how it sort of establishes a floor and a ceiling. Can you see how what used to be support is now going to act as major resistance? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, major brick wall here at this 49.50 area. Now we're at 40 right now, so that's 25%. I could very easily see it sort of play in that range. We could also kind of, what I'm kind of seeing here is head and shoulders-y type action. If we go like this, we'll go here to here to here to here to here to here, something like that. And actually, if we draw a good old horizontal support and resistance level right off of this key low right there, and we'll put you up there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get something that looks like this. So we're in the process of this coming back down. My hunch is we probably swim around here. And Alex, if you really want to hunt slick long setups, then you're going to just basically look how the reload zone lines up with that horizontal support and resistance level. See that? So if you want to be a buyer, throw in your bids, down in this level here, kind of like what we were just talking about there a few minutes ago. Work your stink bids.
Yeah.
Off of double bottoms and take your shot to go long in this level down in here.
Well, if anyone knows a Dogecoin dev, particularly one that's working on the Ethereum updates.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Brian, people are saying they can't see your screen. Can you unscreen share and then re-screen share, possibly?
Sure.
That might fix it. We'll see.
That was saying as my lights went off in my car here. If anyone knows a Dogecoin dev, let them know that I want them on Block Talk. I really want to, have a nice interview with Doge about Doge, because the Vancouver scene for Doge is absolutely ridiculous. There's a party group that goes around and they carry this giant rocket that's got like Doge all over it, and they have like an FM transmitter in a backpack and all these FM stereos, and it's basically a mobile party. They call it the decentralized dance party, and they're big on Doge. They love it. So I'd love to have all those guys in the basement there and have a nice interview if anyone knows or wants to upvote me on the our Dogecoin. Maybe I'll get some visibility there then.
So can you see the screen now?
Yeah, they said they can see it. One person said he still can't see it, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, and the problem, like we talked about that earlier, Alex, right? The problem with getting sucked up into that sort of euphoric crowd kind of talk is you end up maybe, chasing price and stuff. The fact, if anything, that this thing is as weak as it is right now, I mean, we look at that Factum and we can see a very similar type of head and shoulders, but Factum's broke out and it's running, right? Whereas this thing, can you see the similarities, Alex?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So let's see if I can just throw that up here. FCT. The Factum, you can sort of see the shoulder. Well, I guess we could go shoulder, head, shoulder, and it's breaking out. So what I'm just suggesting in this Doge is, it might be doing this, but trade-wise, to actually trade to make money from trading, I don't see it here yet. It just you can see the neckline; it's pretty damn solid there, right? And really, do we need to be a hero here and be calling a bottom at 39.40 versus just waiting for 49.50? I mean, really, it's not that big of a difference. All right, I think I've talked that into our ground. I don't mind stink bids down here at this 39.40 area, but I don't see a bull here just yet.
Sounds good to me. Contest?
Okay. What do you think,
do it?
Alex? Do you think we can spin that Twitter wheel?
Yeah. Let me boost my resolution here and burn all my mobile data, and I'll.
Is there any way that you can make the wheel spin for like 45 seconds so
No,
it
but
builds
there
all the
is-
suspense?
There is a way that you can share the link, and I can just load it here.
Well, I got her pulled up here, so
Okay,
do you guys see my screen?
But I don't.
Yeah, we can see it.
Hopefully everyone in the chat can too. I added a couple names here, a couple guys from YouTube, and put the YT beside them.
There's one more from our chat. I don't know if you saw it, and it's PEI, like pay.
All right, PEI.
Yep.
Hopefully it's the winner, I guess. All right, well, I hope I don't have anyone's name on here twice. I looked over it and I didn't see any doubles up, but I think we're good to go. So,
Right. Whose lives are we about to change forever? And actually,
There we go.
Oh, here it is! Who's gonna win?
so many names.
Oh.
Ooh, Frenchie's gonna be mad. He just missed.
Make NDAA famous. Wow, way to go! Congratulations.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what NDAA means.
Where did we get that? Did we get that from Twitter, or did we get that from your edition? That doesn't sound familiar to me.
That's yeah, a Twitter handle. I'm pretty sure that was on your list. Oh,
Okay.
Coin Convert. I follow this guy, I guess.
Well, now somebody in the chat is saying we missed him on Twitter.
Oh, no. No guarantees for the management.
Oh, sorry about that, man. We tried to search Twitter.
Yeah, I did a pretty good job there on
For the
Twitter.
hashtag.
Sorry about everybody.
Yeah, I added a couple and I made sure, but I don't know. Maybe he's messing with us. He's trolling.
Could be.
He's just trying to go to
Right.
Doge.
So let's see if this person and I were talking. What was their name again?
Make NDAA famous.
Andy or MD?
ND. N as in Nicholas. D as in Donald. A as in Alex. A as in Alex. I'm tweeting at him too. You won truffle. Congrats.
And he's like, "What's that?"
I'll tag you too here, Brian.
Yeah, you should put me in there as well. So.
Meh.
All right, there it is.
I don't know what we're promoting here, but it could be interesting.
Do I even know this person? Oh yeah, well they're following me, so what the hell? All
Yeah.
right.
No, I think you might have an interesting person in your class here, Brian. He looks like he follows a lot of the crypto guys. He's definitely in it all.
Interesting. Well, welcome aboard. Make NDAA famous.
Oh, he's tweeting at David Seaman. Brian, he needs your help. All right.
All right, so make NDAA famous. Give me a shout on Twitter. Alex is, or just respond to that tweet that Alex put out, and we'll hook you up. Congratulations, way to go. Well done.
Golf clap, golf clap.
All right, well, that was fun.
All right. Well, should we wrap it up? Maybe we can see if NDAA will join us on the next show or something. We did that the last time. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I mean, David, wow, David has turned into one sharp trader. So I'm so proud of him. So NDAA, you've got some pretty big shoes to fill. These people that win the contest, these turned into some really, really sharp traders.
Yeah, I'll have to see what Johnny King's up to, because I know him and me were.
Yeah, what's happened to him? I haven't talked to him in a long time.
He moved back to Australia. He stole some Canadian broad and moved back there and got married. So I think he's kind of dealing with a ball and chain now.
Fun.
Yeah. I'm sure he's doing well. I'll check in with him and I'll see what's going on.
Yeah, cool. All right, so ND. All right, what's that mean?
We'll call him Coin Convert. That's his name on Twitter. His handle.
Coin Convert. Yeah.
Coin Convert.
Oh, coin. That's what you're supposed to. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this stuff. Coin Convert. All right, Coin Convert. Welcome aboard, Coin Convert.
Yeah. All right, guys. This has been
cool.
fun.
Yeah. Should we wrap it up?
Right.
So I'll give the usual spiel. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Helps us out a lot with visibility, and you get notified whenever a new show is posted. Don't forget to check out Block Talk also.
Yeah, this Friday I got Decent, their decentralized media platform, so it should be kind of interesting, maybe a competitor to Steam. And then next Tuesday I'll be interviewing Nexus NIRO, the one we've reviewed today, so if you want to find out why they had this crazy run up, yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Cool. Brian, do you want to give a quick spiel as to what exactly make NDAA just one? Is there some website that you could display?
I suppose you could twist my rubber arm. Brian, my name's Brian Beamish. If you don't already know, I sure hope you know. We run the Rational Investor website, extremely active. Geez, over 100 some odd cryptocurrencies now in our portfolio. We're tracking crypto, broader stock market, currencies, the whole shebang. Run a very, very simple portfolio that's really easy for the public to follow and have very, very respectable returns. That's basically what we do. We trade, right? And specifically, what our contest winner won tonight was a seat in our upcoming fall term of our introduction to capital markets and working and building with a trading plan. And the feedback that I've gotten from this course is, and I think one gentleman said it perfectly. He said, this course, Brian's not gonna fish for you. And you know, he'll work with you and teach you how to fish alongside. But really what this course does is it teaches you how to build the best damn fishing pole you've ever seen in your life. And you'll have the ability to build that fishing pole for the rest of your life. And I thought that was a perfect way to summarize this, is that I don't want a bunch of minions running around who are saying, oh, Brian, what do we do next? Oh, Brian, what do we do next? What I really want is I want educated, self-confident professionals that we work with as a team and we all leverage off of each other. And that's basically what these courses do, is they give you the skill to be as much of a professional as you want to be in the marketplace. And what I've found is every single trader, every single person that I've ever worked with so far, and I've been teaching this course now for a couple of years now here, just in crypto, every single one of my students is a different person. They look at the world differently. They have their own personal perspective, and so that means that everybody's trading plan, everybody's setups, everybody's risk tolerance is completely unique. And really what this course does is it basically teaches you how to build that trading plan that properly reflects who you are, and then you can go out and succeed in the marketplace. And that's what I'm all about.
Man, you got that sales pitch down to a science.
Was that good? Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it.
Cool. Well, on that note, I think we'll say sayonara. Feet are saying goodbye. Happy trails, and we'll catch you guys in 2 weeks.
All right. Good
Thanks
night,
for watching.
everybody. Bye.